5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So ESPN is interviewing General Scafacci before the big game against Notre Dame. General Scafacci says, "As many of you know, God looks out for America and for Army football. In this case, it has come to my attention that his allegiances may lie with the enemy. Due to this, we have decided to switch deities, and we will now be aided on the field of battle by Hanuman, the Hindu monkey god, responsible for strength, courage, wisdom, and the deep ball. With his assistance, I am confident we'll be able to meet those leprechauns in the field and defeat them."
Nice. Welcome to the Scafacci-verse.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Scafacci-verse. I am Anthony Scafacci.
And I'm Alan Gigax.
And we are your hosts, and we want to thank you for listening to us every single week, tuning in and downloading the podcast. Share it with your friends. Give us a rating. Please go give us that 5-star rating. It helps us a lot. We don't have a ton of ratings. I think we only have like 18, which is surprising considering the number of listeners we have, that we don't have more. But, it's tough. It's like all those extra steps.
Yeah, it's hard enough getting people to click the link.
Yeah, dude, just getting people to click the link is like an act of Congress.
Well, and
man.
That's ratings on Spotify.
Yeah,
if there's ratings on iTunes, we don't know about.
Yeah,
them.
but I'm pretty sure that the RSS, which is who we carries our podcast with, they quantify all ratings, and there's still not many. So it's maybe like 22 total or 23 total, and and dude, there's only so many friends and family I have that I could push them to get that rating.
Yeah,
so
that's the truth.
Got to get more of you people out there. Help a little out, man.
Right.
Think about somebody other than yourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's think about today's sponsor.
Yeah,
because we have a new bit that we're going to get to.
Yeah, we do. We have a new segment. I don't like to call it a bit.
Yeah,
man.
a little skit.
That makes it sound like it's not organic.
No, that's true.
All of these are truly organic.
Yeah, all we're trying to do is help people.
Yeah, and this is going to help people a lot.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so this segment is brought to you by Jelly's Snot Knockin' Barbecue, home of the pregame victory dessert with 17 locations nationwide.
All right. And so the name of this segment, right?
Yes.
Is Ask a Deity.
Ask a Deity. So as you know from listening to the Scafacci-verse, we have access to deities.
Yeah, thankfully.
Deities exist for real in the Scafacci-verse.
Yeah.
Some people would say they don't exist for real in the regular universe, but we're not here to argue that point.
Our deities are top shelf, too.
Yeah,
so
and they actually respond.
And they're interactive.
Yeah, I mean, in the opening, we heard about a deity that General Scafacci enlisted to help Army football.
It was very successful.
Yeah, and Hanuman, the Hindu monkey god.
Yeah.
And so in this new segment, Ask a Deity, you guys can write in with your questions for deities.
For whatever deity you want.
Whatever deity you want,
and,
right.
Yeah, and we'll get in touch with them, and then we'll get an answer.
We'll give you the...
Actually, they'll come on live.
Yeah, they come on.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The latest technology.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and get to the question, and then we'll hear from Hanuman in response.
All right. So this one is from Frank S. in Monrovia, California. Hanuman, this asshole named Steve keeps stealing my lunch out of the break room. What can I do to get him to stop?
Oh, this is an easy one. This is no problem. You're going to get this. You're going to get this solved right away. I've used this solution so many times. Here's what you need to do. It's very straightforward, Frank. Buy a bunch of laxatives. The good ones. The really powerful, potent ones.
And should I put them in my lunch?
No, you don't put them in your lunch. If you put them in your lunch, it's too late. You need to start early. And anyway, if this asshole Steve winds up stealing your lunch, that gives Steve the upper hand, and you don't want that. No, what you're going to do is you're going to put those laxatives in your breakfast.
But Steve isn't stealing my breakfast.
Yeah, it's... Stop. Are you a god? Are you the one giving the fucking advice here? No, you're not. So let the god give the advice, and you shut the fuck up. No, here's what you do. You put the laxatives in your breakfast, and then you eat the breakfast. Now, by the time lunch comes, you're going to be locked and loaded. Now, this is very important. Do not go to the bathroom. You got to hold that shit in. If you have to enlist the help of my good friend the Flying Spaghetti Monster to plug that little shit pipe and keep it all in, that's what you do. You keep that shit in, and then you wait for Steve in the break room. And then when Steve comes into the break room to come and steal your lunch, you let loose. You shit right into your hand. Now, if you do it right, you're probably going to need both hands. And as fast as it comes out, you throw it at him and keep it coming. Now, the first 2 shits or so, when they come out, they're going to be solid. You make the most of those. You got to clobber that motherfucker. You got to hear him. You want to hear it splat. After that, speaking of splat, it's just going to be splatter. And that's when the real fun begins. You chase that motherfucker down, and the nice thing about the subsequent runny, gooey shits that come out after that is when you throw them, they go everywhere. It's like a fucking shotgun. And you're just going to blast that motherfucker. I mean, if you take enough laxatives, you should be able to have like 15 or 20 Paula worth of shit. Maybe 30 Paula if you have a big dinner the night before. And that's what you should do. Have a big dinner. Go out to like fucking Golden Corral or something and really load up. And then you give it to him with both goddamn hands. That motherfucker will never steal your lunch again.
Wow. All right. Well, and, Hanuman, the gods are perfect.
Yeah,
so
that's perfect good advice from a real deity.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hanuman, for coming on.
Thanks, Hanuman. So, yeah.
You're welcome, shitheads.
All right. Well,
all right.
Dude, that was fantastic.
Yeah. It's an all Hanuman episode, and typical or good of Hanuman to... stick to the theme, I guess, of monkeys shitting their hands and throw it at people.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it was kind of on brand.
It's like when your only tool is a hammer, every problem
everything's
is a
nail. Yeah, sure.
Right. When your only weapon is crapping in your hands and throwing it at people.
Yeah.
I
did a little bit of research on Hanuman after I was made aware of him, right? And I don't remember that being a big part of the lore of Hanuman, but I'm into it.
Of the crapping in the hands and throwing it.
But look, it is a problem solver. I mean,
it is, yeah. That's more, you see that in monkeys.
Sure.
And
now you see it in the lunchroom.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
So.
Well, maybe we'll hear back from Steve or Rick or whoever was the person, Frank.
Yeah, get back to us and let us know how it turned out.
How it worked. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he may need the services of Baphomet.
Yeah, maybe
after that.
All right. So that was fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little shook. Right?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm a little shook. I wasn't expecting all that, but it was great. So, all right. And so now we're going to get to our main topic for this episode. And, one of the things that we talked about is we wanted to do some more kind of out there content and just talk about some things that, we've done or some good stories. And we have a really good story here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do.
We were hoping to get one of our buddies to come on, but you know what? His schedule's hard to make it work. So we're gonna do the episode, and I'll just be as Trevor.
Well, we can both kind of tell Trevor's involvement in this. Yeah. But it takes place at Zion National Park, which is the same place that the Agony of the Feet episode was made.
But this was, mostly inside the park, I would say, right? It starts outside, but
it
comes
starts
back
outside
inside.
the park, yeah. Yep.
So for those of you unaware, Zion is up in Utah.
Yeah,
and it's a beautiful national park.
It is.
It's an amazing place, and there's tons of great hiking there. And some of the hikes are so good and so awesome that you actually start the hike outside the park and then hike back into the park. And the Narrows, for those of you who've never done it, if you're ever out in the West, anywhere you come to Vegas or anywhere west, and you have the ability and the time to go up there and see Zion and jump into the Narrows or any of the other amazing hikes that up there, dude, it's so worth it.
Right. Yeah, and so Zion, it's one of the most visited national parks, but it's in a confined area. And there are a couple of really standard hikes there, but the standard bearer at Zion is the Narrows.
Yeah.
So there's a little river.
I would think it might have been Angel's Landing, but Narrows is probably the more...
Yeah, most people aren't going to attempt Angel's Landing.
Yeah, because that shit gets killed.
I mean, the other standards are like Emerald Pools, Weeping Rock. There's a few others, but the Narrows are what people are really there for.
Yeah.
And so what it is, there's a small... They call it the Virgin River. If you're from back east, you'd probably consider it a creek. But it goes through this narrow slot canyon.
Mm-hmm.
and there's like 1,000-foot walls on both sides
That are sheer, no
yeah,
less.
that are
Yeah.
straight up, just cliffs on both sides, and then in between is the river, and the river in some places will go from wall to wall, and so it's incredibly deep and incredibly narrow. Hence
Yes.
the name, the Narrows. So most people, when they hike it, if they're pussies, they start at the bottom. At the trailhead, you get dropped off by the shuttle bus, and then you walk up this paved path until you get to the water where you can't go any further without getting in the water.
Yeah.
And then the real pussies turn back right there. The more adventuresome people will hike upriver as far as they can until
It's just time to turn back.
until it's time to turn back for whatever reason, right? Which we have done before.
Yeah.
We hike up to like Orderville Canyon is a good place to stop, or Wall Street. There's various landmarks along the way. But the real manly men, the way they do it, the real adventurers, is you go all the way to the far side of the Narrows. You get dropped off by like a van.
Yeah, you have to hire somebody to take you up there because the
Right.
hike in its entirety is about 17 miles.
Yeah. Yep.
And so, in order to get up there, I haven't been up there in a while, and I've heard there's some changes, but you actually walk through this guy's farm.
Yeah, I
So,
think
like-
when we went, it had been rainy and sloppy, and so the road all the way to the trailhead wasn't available.
Uh-huh.
And so we had to hike further, which I think why for us it was like 17 miles. It's probably less
Yeah.
if you go to the proper trailhead. But yeah, we had to hike through this guy's farm, with cow shit, which is why you don't drink from the Virgin River. One of the many reasons why
so
you don't drink from it.
before
Yeah.
we get to the actual beginning of
Yeah,
the hike,
yeah.
though, so we actually went up there the day before, and since me and you had done at least some hiking in the Narrows, we
Right.
went to this outfitter store and we got these insulated socks.
Oh, I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
And we got walking sticks,
Okay.
right? Because we knew this thing was about to be a bitch. So we have the insulated socks, we have walking sticks, and we had this, and we slept overnight in Zion. We had rented a campsite, and it was me, you, and Trevor. And the plan was, in order to start this hike, we were going to have to get up at about 4 a.m, or like 3:45
Yeah,
in
you
the
have to
morning.
get up early because to do it as a day hike, which is what we're doing.
Yeah,
A lot of people do it overnight.
Yeah, they'll camp inside there, and we'll get to that. But,
Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
we had planned to do it as a 1-day banger.
Yep,
Right?
exactly.
We're just gonna do this shit and get it over with.
And if you listen to the Agony of the Feet episode, the rationale for doing that hike was like, well, it's all downhill. It's going to be
Yeah.
easy. And the Narrows kind of the same way. We're going with the flow of water.
Sure.
So if you get tired, you can just sit down and the current will take you. This is going to be easy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we get in a van, like a
Yeah.
minivan. We load in our backpacks and things like that.
Yeah.
And we head up and we get dropped off at the front driveway of this guy's farm.
Right. Yeah, that's my recollection as well.
And
Yeah.
then we have to walk through this farm area, and there's like signs and all this stuff. Like, if you're looking for the Narrows trailhead, go this way.
Yep.
And so we wind up and we walk, and that's like a good mile.
Yeah,
Right.
It took us a while just
Yeah.
to get to the proper trail. Yeah.
Right. And I remember, maybe it was after we actually got physically on the actual Zion's trail, the actual Narrows trail,
Right.
you had a shit.
That sounds like something I would
Yeah,
do.
'cause-
I remember going back into the deep grass.
Yeah,
to
so
take a shit. It's
one
a
of the-
miracle I didn't get a tick on my balls.
So one, you may have.
Maybe I did. Yeah.
So one of the
maybe
things,
that's what sucked all the girth out of them.
it's been there for 25
Yeah, that's
years.
right.
So that tick just now looks like a testicle.
Yeah.
So So-
good times.
one of the things that whenever I've hiked with Alan over the years, and me and you've done lots of hikes together,
Yep.
is that Alan won't shit until his feet touch the dirt.
Yeah, when I was fatter, which this took place when I was
Yeah.
a lot fatter, like as soon as my feet touched the dirt and things started moving, I would
Dude,
have to take
yeah,
a
he
shit
just-
right away.
Immediately.
But I came prepared.
Yeah, so he came prepared. Now this this predates, or is this after?
I think this is before the agony of the feet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, Alan brought with him a
Yeah.
World War II
Trenching shovel.
entrenching shovel.
yeah, an
right?
entrenching tool. That's
yeah,
what it is.
which
Yeah.
weighed about 12 or 13 pounds.
No, it probably weighed like 4 or 5 pounds.
Dude, no,
but
this-
in a backpack, that's a
Dude,
lot
yeah,
of weight.
It was pretty heavy. It was big, And it was way more than was needed unless you were going to like bury a rhinoceros's shit.
Yeah, unless you were going to actually like dig a trench.
Yeah, and
But to dig a 6-inch cat hole so you
Dude.
can take a dump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so right away, me and Trevor give you shit for A, having to take a shit,
Right.
and B, bringing this giant goddamn
Yeah.
shovel with
Adding
you.
all this weight
Yeah.
to the pack.
And I think we said something to you along the lines of like, we're not carrying that fucking thing. Like
Right.
if it gets too heavy.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, we're-
I'm the stupid one.
Yeah, you're gonna
This
carry
is
it.
my burden.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Even if I
yeah.
have to use it to shit, you're still going to have to
Yeah,
carry it,
right, exactly.
right?
Yeah, because, dude, we can all use it.
Yeah. And so Alan goes and he crawls into the lion grass.
Right. And I want to
And-
give a caveat here to cover myself. This was before, back then you could dig a cat hole and take a shit.
Yeah.
It's probably not allowed anymore because there's too many people doing it.
I don't know.
Yeah, but at
Where
the
do you-
time it was not a problem. You got to shit in a bag.
Now you shit in a bag.
Yeah,
and that's
then
like
you carry
the law.
it with you. Yeah, you get to keep it.
Thanks,
and You
Obama.
take it home, right? And it's a souvenir after that. Yeah, or you can sell it on the black market.
Yeah.
They ship it off to Germany, I assume.
Where it can be used, recycled,
yeah,
repurposed.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Scheiße.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, so Alan goes and dude, we're giving him a bunch of shit, and Trevor, he's kind of a practical joker. He picks up a rock and starts throwing them at Alan while he's taking a shit.
Yeah,
These
that's
little
true.
rocks, just kind of winging them,
Yeah.
like in the general area,
The
just to
motherfucker.
fuck with
God, I
Alan.
forgot about that,
Yeah,
too.
while he's taking a dump.
Yeah, what an
Right,
asshole.
and Alan is like getting upset because dude, he's trying to take a dump.
Yeah.
And now he's getting pelted with like small,
Yeah.
quarter-sized rocks.
Right.
Right. And so eventually, the shit, as they all do, comes to an end.
It does.
Right. And
I should have taken the advice of Hanuman.
Yeah,
and
thrown
thrown
it,
it back.
but
yeah,
yeah.
you're gonna throw something at me.
yeah. So, but Trevor, once he starts kind of picking on you,
Right.
he tends to just keep going.
He
Right?
does. Yeah, because it
And-
gets to me.
Yeah, because he knows he can get to you.
Right.
And so now he sees birds and he starts throwing rocks at birds.
Yeah,
And this
that really bothers me. And like
Yeah.
squirrels. And,
Yeah, like living animals. And
Yeah.
so I remember you getting really
I did.
upset with them. And now,
Yeah.
mind you, we're like a mile and a half into what's
Oh, yeah,
going to be
we're
this
just
very
getting started. We're like
long
a half
hike.
hour
Yeah.
into
and,
this.
Yeah, we've got an entire day ahead of us.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you guys argue about,
Yeah, don't throw rocks at animals.
And I'm pretty sure, I just played like instigator because that's kind of my role.
Yeah.
Is to just fuck with both of you. Like, oh, you're going to let them talk to you that way?
Right. Yeah, just egging it
Yeah.
on.
And so this becomes kind of an ongoing theme. Is
Right.
now anytime Trevor sees an animal, he wants to pick up a rock and throw it.
Fucking Trevor.
Yeah. And so
It's not okay.
yeah, and so we thankfully though, we know there's a mission at hand and we
Right.
got to keep moving.
Yeah.
And so we start walking. And the beginning part of this hike, you're not in the slot canyon yet.
Right.
It's just kind of walking
It's just
down
a
like
canyon,
a
yeah,
trail.
like a-
and,
right.
Yeah, but you can
Yeah,
kind
you're on
of
dirt.
see it coming.
Right.
Like in
the
the
canyon
distance.
is getting narrower and
Yeah,
narrower.
well, and the mountains are starting to go up around you. And after, I forget, it was probably maybe in 2 to 2.5 miles in,
Okay.
is when you formally actually start to get into the actual narrow canyon.
Right. And there becomes areas where you have to walk through the water.
Well, but that's not for much further down. The first 7 miles or so are all dry land, or mostly dry land.
Right. You're kind of going on either side.
Yeah, you don't
Right.
have to walk in the water. You
Right.
can kind of avoid it. The river.
It's
of-
not particularly deep.
Yeah, and it's
You can walk across on stones
well,
if you
and
have
there's
to.
a
stuff
section
like that.
where when you're walking through the Narrows, the actual Virgin River combines with the initial stream.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, I
okay. All right. I'll take your word
yeah,
for that.
did my research.
Okay, good.
Right, so we're walking, but yeah, you're not fully in the water, and dude, things are going good because
Yeah.
we're moving at a pretty good pace. Because
Right, because we're going downhill.
yeah,
It's
we're
pretty
going
flat.
downhill. It's pretty and it's not like steep downhill.
Right.
and we're just talking and passing time and bullshitting and laughing and
Yeah, the
have-
river descends at a really gentle grade.
And so we're going, and then I remember we get to what is the first like obstacle,
Okay.
and it's a climb down where you have to use a rope and climb down this maybe 9 or 10 foot little drop
Okay.
back onto the river floor. It's like what would be a regular waterfall if it rained hard,
Okay.
but it's not because it was just a little stream. It's just a little bit of water, no big deal. And they have a rope there, and it's like affixed to a giant stump or something. And
Credit to you. I don't remember
dude,
this
well,
either.
I remember this hike very vividly because
it's about the only thing like it that you've done.
Yeah, and so it's very fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
And so we wind up climbing down, and I remember thinking to myself, like, if one of us falls here,
Yeah.
or gets hurt here, dude, we got a lot of problems.
Yeah, rescue is going to be very difficult.
And at this point, all of our packs were full with water
Yep.
and snacks and things like that. So
Shovels.
giant shovels.
Yeah.
And our
Right.
packs were pretty full.
Yeah.
But we safely make it down. We all like work together, to make
Right.
sure we get down safe. And now we're back on that floor. And we're walking. And to cut to the chase a little bit, we finally get up to this fork where the main part of the Virgin River enters the Narrows. Now,
Okay.
by this point, we're already in sheer cliffs on either side, 500-600 feet high.
Okay.
And I remember thinking to myself, well, that's it now. Like, there's no going back.
Right.
Like, this is it. We're in it now, because walking back, 6 miles
Right.
to nothing. There's no car to pick us up.
No.
You
No,
know,
you're committed.
Yeah, like the only chance would be to like go knock on that farmer's door, like fucking help.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Can we use your phone to call the
Yeah.
outfitter, pay
It's
another
something.
$300 to come pick us up?
Or
Yep.
that's it. And so that
You're committed. You're
in
going
my
all the way
head though,
through.
it didn't seem really real
Uh-huh.
until we reached that point.
Sure.
Right.
Like going back was plausible until then.
It
Yeah.
always seemed doable until we got to that point.
Right.
And then at that point, it was like, well, we didn't get all dressed up for nothing.
Right.
So let's get our asses in there and let's go. And
Yeah.
and there's still 8 to 9 miles now.
Right.
And this water is fucking cold. And
It
it's
is.
even with the insulated socks,
Yep.
dude, it's fucking cold.
It is.
Right?
Yep.
And so we go into the water, and the water is moving much faster and much stronger than I anticipated, because when you start the Narrows hike at the very bottom, it's
Right.
very much like just a very couple of inches stream that will not knock you over.
Yeah, it's gentle,
Very
except in
gentle.
areas of really high flow. But that's why the tourists do it, right? It's
Yeah.
tourist friendly down at that
at
side.
the very bottom.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the top,
Right.
where the water enters,
Things are a little
dude,
steeper.
it's not that friendly.
No, and it's amazing how your flood control district will tell you that only
Yeah.
a few inches of water is enough to sweep away your car.
Sure.
It can sweep away your feet too.
Yeah. Well,
And so you have like a walking stick to help stabilize.
yes.
Yeah.
But what you learn real quickly is
Yeah.
that shit doesn't help much.
No, because the rocks that are constantly underwater in this very turbid and mineral-rich water, they are covered in slime.
Yes, slime,
In algae or whatever.
And dude, they are slippery. Like
it's
ice.
slippery. Yeah.
And so, dude,
And they're all round because they're all river rocks. So traction is terrible.
yeah. And so no stick doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you're falling
Dude,
at some
you
point. You're going to
fall
fall many times.
multiple times.
Yep.
And so now the pace that we're walking
Right.
drastically slows down.
Right, because you have to walk at a careful pace now.
Yeah, this
Yep.
carefree. Look at us, we're young and
Right.
we're fucking viral, and we're gonna go fuck the world
Yeah.
over.
Young,
and,
dumb, and full of cum.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Now we're like on ice skates,
Right.
and we're trying to walk through this river where the depth of the river changes very constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it'll be 4 inches deep, and then other times it's like 2 feet deep.
Yeah.
and then other times it's like enough to go over your head, and you
there
might
were
have to
points where
swim.
we have to like take your pack off,
Yes.
hold it over your head,
and swim.
And swim,
right? And these are things that we were somewhat prepared for.
Yeah.
But not really.
Right.
And, because we were.
Yeah, the reality of it is
Yeah.
another issue.
And so that starts to dawn on us because we're watching our we have like a watch, and
Yeah, so
There-
we know like what our pace should be, how
Yeah.
many miles, and there's like landmarks along the way that we know. Okay, like by this time we should be here, and by this time we should be there, and stuff like that,
yeah.
so that we can get out like essentially before it gets dark.
Yeah, because once it gets dark,
Yeah, things are going to get a lot harder.
yeah, this is going to get a lot harder. It's going to
Right.
get a lot colder.
Yeah.
And so now we're trying to go faster,
Right.
but it's not really possible.
Are we now to the part where disaster happens?
No.
Okay.
Because that was thankfully not.
Maybe halfway through.
It was around when we got to the last available campsite.
Okay.
It was around that.
In my head, it happened earlier than that, but you're probably
No.
right.
So why there's these campsites inside Narrows, inside the Narrows, where you can camp overnight in the Narrows.
Yeah.
And which is really cool because it's scenic and all this. And
Right.
it's-
There's
dude,
like a
you-
dozen of them.
Yeah, and there's about 12, and you can sign up for them. And we decided to do the day hike, so that wasn't happening. And we were warned against doing this day hike, by the way,
I don't
by
remember
several
that.
people told us this is a bad idea. And we were like,
That's
"Ah."
all just background
Yeah,
noise to
dude,
me.
no,
yeah.
yeah, well, at that point, dude, we were like fucking pussies. Right?
Yeah,
They're-
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They don't
maybe,
know.
Maybe it's a bad idea for you.
Yeah,
Right. But
yeah.
dude, look at us. Look at these specimens.
Right.
Right. We're gonna go fuck this. I'm gonna go fuck the Narrows.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And so I remember reaching the very first campsite, and their campsites are up on these like kind of off the river floor spots where they're like on a little
Yeah,
shelf.
right. So
and
that if
it's-
there's flooding,
if there's flooding,
you don't die.
and people do die in the Narrows from
People
flash
do.
flooding.
Absolutely.
Right. And there's, dude, awesome videos on YouTube of flash floods in the Narrows and people
Yeah.
stuck in that shit.
Yeah.
And dude, it's scary.
It's dramatic.
Yeah, it sucks.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
And
because
so-
higher ground is 1,000-foot sheer cliff. You ain't getting to the top of that to get out of the.
And so
Yeah.
some of these campsites are like maybe like 16 feet off the river floor, which
Right.
would be fine most cases.
Yeah.
Until the water's 38 feet tall, or there's no fucking escape.
Sure.
So,
But part of the issue, like when you're planning it, you make sure if you're going to be in a place like that,
You check the weather.
Yeah, you check the weather,
And we did.
we were okay.
yeah, we,
Right, that
we
wasn't-
knew we were good.
Yep.
There was like no rain in the forecast.
Right.
Weather was good.
Yeah.
And
What could go wrong?
yeah, what could go wrong, right? And so I remember we stopped and we ate lunch, and it was brief, maybe 20 minutes. We took a break,
Yep.
and then we officially embarked on what I called the second half of the hike.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. This is when it gets really narrow, where you're in the water pretty much
Yeah,
constantly.
yeah. Now you're always in the water,
Right.
There's no out of the water.
Yeah. The only question is like how deep it is and how fast it's
yeah,
flowing.
and how often you're going to eat shit.
right on the
Right?
slippery rocks. Yeah.
And what kind of injuries are going to occur once you eat that shit?
Right.
And so we're walking, and we're still having a good time. The pace is slow, and then we hear and we look back, and there's Alan laying like a fucking turtle.
Yeah.
And he's like, my ankle.
Yeah.
And dude, immediately I thought, dude, he just broke his ankle.
Right.
Like, we're so fucked now because Alan weighs like 240.
Yeah. At the time, yeah, I might have been well over that.
And
at that
there
time.
ain't no
Yeah.
help in here. It's not like the only help
Right.
is to hike out, go get help,
Right.
and bring it back.
Yeah.
And I think at this point we were, like I said, we were past even the campsite. So it wasn't
Right.
even like an option to leave you
Right.
at a campsite. We'd have to bring you to that campsite upriver.
Upriver. Yeah. Forget that.
Then
Yeah.
hike out again, And so we talked about, because I remember you saying, I don't think I can walk. Right. And we're like, well, what if you had 2 walking sticks? Right.
Sure. Like crutches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you use the 2 walking sticks. And what if we carry your pack?
These suckers.
Yeah. And so Alan,
Best injury I ever
dude,
faked.
his ankle was really sprained.
was sprained
It was
pretty bad,
legitimately
yeah.
sprained.
Yeah.
Right. And it's sprained with 6 miles to go.
Yeah.
And
Of
time
all just uneven terrain.
and time is ticking and slip
Yeah.
and more falls to come.
oh, yeah.
And dude, there's no
Do
choice.
you remember whether I had a roll of duct tape?
You may have,
Because
but
it feels like I taped up my ankle or I did something
I think
to
you did
support
something to tape it up.
Yeah.
Well, you normally carry duct tape as like a survival thing.
it. Right.
That and whatever else you
Yeah,
deemed
yeah.
necessary, 12 blankets.
My recollection
Yeah.
is that we taped it up.
Yeah, I think we did use duct tape.
Yeah.
Which in the water, not very, not the best, but worked.
Yeah,
Right?
that's what duct tape is for.
Yeah.
Like the original duck cloth tape
Sure.
was, you can use it. It's waterproof and it'll stick even when it gets wet.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so we tape up your ankle.
Yeah.
Right. We take your bag and now realize dude, your bag was far heavier than the rest of
Yeah,
ours.
it was heavy.
Right?
Because it had like the shovel, roll
Yeah.
of duct tape. It
Yeah, I
had-
mean, mine had like a gallon of water, which was probably now down to about half a gallon.
right.
And I think, yours is probably about the same because we knew we had fresh water kind of at our feet. But
I
you're
don't
not supposed
remember
to
us
drink it.
having water filters though. I
No,
don't think
we didn't.
had that at the time.
But we knew, like, well, if push
In an
comes
emergency,
to shove,
yeah, drink it anyway.
We could drink the water.
yeah, if you get diarrhea, it won't be until after you get back.
Yeah, so we didn't bring an excessive amount of water, and we didn't bring a lot of food, jerky and some mixed
Right,
nuts,
right.
things like that.
Yep.
And we start going.
Right.
And dude, Alan is moving.
Alan, what did you bring to snack on? Oh, nothing, just D's nuts.
Yeah, dude. And so Alan now, we were already moving at like a turtle's pace,
Yeah.
is now snail pace.
Right.
And every step he's unsure.
Yeah.
And
Right, because now I'm lose that much more stability as well.
yeah, and dude, me and Trevor now are like frustrated with you,
Right.
past the point of being nice about it.
Yeah, because the backpack is at least partly to blame
Yeah.
for me falling.
Sure.
Because it swings around on your back. It's extra heavy. It just makes things that much more difficult, which made it that much more likely that I was going to hurt myself.
Well, and this entrenching tool was so
Yeah.
completely unnecessary.
Yeah,
You know?
it would eventually be replaced with just a little
spade.
like a garden trowel.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
little
exactly.
spade.
A little spade. Yep.
Yeah.
And that works just fine.
Yeah, it turns out.
Yeah. And the shit bags are even less heavy than that.
So when you use a shit bag,
Yeah.
do you like just get somebody to tape it around your asshole like before you go?
So there's a couple ways you
or
can
do you have
use
somebody
it.
have to hold it? Open?
No, so there's two ways you can use it. One is to use it like a giant diaper. And it's big. It opens up into like this big tarp,
like
essentially.
a lawn and leaf bag?
Yeah, and you hold it up like around your waist.
Climb into it.
Yeah, with the collection bag dangling down below your ass. And so you can do it that way. I've never used it that way. I wouldn't trust
Cut
it.
holes for the legs.
Exactly. The other way to use it is just to spread it across the ground like a big tarp.
Like
and
you're
then,
gonna put your tent on it.
yeah, and then you stand on it
kind
and
of shit are you
shit into the
taking, dude?
receptacle.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then, you got to have room for the splatter just in case. So then you wrap it all up. It goes inside of a sealing like Ziploc bag and then goes into your backpack.
Dude.
Yeah, so hey, pro tip, guys. If you have to use something like that, it's in this bag that claims to be scent proof. It is not.
Well, especially not once you put your legs through it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and if you do to it what I do to it, yeah, they ain't no.
Dude,
So
hazmat ain't
So
got
what
that
I
thing
bring
covered. So.
in addition, because they're very light, they take up almost no space and no weight, is the bags from the marijuana shops.
Ah.
Because those are 100% scent proof.
Yeah, to avoid
Yeah.
the police, right?
Exactly. So
Okay.
you put the bag that now has your shit in it, put it inside the marijuana bag, and now you're good to go.
That's where you put your wife's remains after you kill her.
You're right, exactly. So that the dogs can't find it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all they're going to find is the jizz everywhere. Okay, so getting back on
okay,
topic.
so yeah, we're sorry. We got a little sidetracked there.
We are well over time.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
we decide we're going to keep going. Obviously, Alan's got no choice,
Right.
and we're carrying all this stuff, and we're walking.
To your credit, you guys could have left me.
Yeah,
you
well,
could have
dude,
just. We'll catch you back
yeah,
at camp.
all I thought about was that scene in E.T. when they go find him after he gets sick and he's all white and he's laying in the river.
Right,
that would have been
exactly.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we get going, obviously.
Right.
And, to your credit, I will give you credit, dude. You troopered up. And, it's actually good that the water being cold.
Right. I kind of
helped.
iced it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of helped with the swelling.
And if you've had sports injuries, as long as they're not too severe, you can essentially walk them off.
Yeah.
Well,
Rub it in the dirt, walk it off.
Yeah, walk it off through a river.
where it keeps getting re-aggravated.
Not the best idea.
No.
So,
That lets you know, dear listener, how fucking tough I am.
yeah, he's a goddamn man of steel.
That's right.
Right? So, strong enough to run into the back of his own rented vehicle.
Yeah, that's a story
That's
for
another
another day.
story, right?
Yeah.
So, we keep going, right? Now, obviously, dude, there's a lot of just keep going in this story. So, I'm going
Yeah.
to start to cut towards the end of it. So,
And I want to just lay a little. The Narrows are phenomenally scenic.
Yeah, they're amazing.
incredibly beautiful.
I don't
but
think we took a single picture.
probably not. But it's also the kind of thing that, like, by mile 8, you've seen it.
Yeah,
You know,
it's repetitive.
And yeah, you're going to come around a corner. There's going to be more cliffs. Oh, look, more cliffs.
Well, and I remember now, we had gotten to that point in the hike where seeing other people.
Yeah, like when we hit Wall Street, we start seeing other people.
Yeah.
But we still have like 4 miles to go.
And I remember asking consistently,
Right.
how much further we got to go?
Yeah.
And, oh, you got to wait. You got to wait.
Yeah,
to
you
go.
got a while, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've been hiking for
Right.
6
And we're
hours.
exhausted.
Yeah, we're spent.
Yeah. 6 hours, probably like 8 to
No,
10
that's what
hours.
people would tell us.
yeah.
That
right.
they had
They've
been hiking for 6
right.
hours.
Yeah, now they're going against the current.
Sure.
So it's harder for them, but they're not utterly exhausted like we
Yeah,
are.
and we're
And
just,
injured.
Yeah, and we're thinking like, well, dude, it can't be that much further. And I remember thinking, oh, it can't be that much further. And no, it was.
It was that much
It
further.
was that much
It was further
further.
than that, actually.
And I remember thinking, as the sun passes over the Narrows, eventually the entire thing is in the shade.
Yeah.
But then it starts to get darker in there.
Yeah. It
Like-
gets cold.
Cold, and it happens kind of fast.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, well, we need to be out of here by 6 p.m. That's like if we don't make it out by 6, we're fucking doomed.
Was that like the last shuttle or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was about 4:30. And I was like, dude, we're not going to make this.
Yeah.
Like, we have got to go.
It's going to be tight.
And so,
If we can't just hang out
yeah,
and dawdle.
we need to rally.
Yeah, we got to push the pace.
And so, dude, we're like, Al, dude, we got to go. Like,
Yeah.
we got to make this or
Right.
we're fucked.
yeah.
And, to your credit, dude, you did.
I did.
You, like, grunted it out.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, as we started to get to parts of the Narrows that were really familiar to me,
Right.
like, oh, dude, we're going to make it.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's the sun. We're going to make it.
But the issue is, like, then you finally get to the takeout. Like, we did it, right? Obviously, we lived.
Yeah.
We get to the takeout, but at the takeout, then you have the Temple of Sinawava Trail, or
dude,
the
which is like a
Riverside Walk.
good half mile.
That's closer to a mile.
Yeah.
And you still have to walk all of that. And so we're like, okay, now that we're back here, we can pick up the pace. We can, like, jog back.
No.
that was not happening. We were so exhausted.
So
we could barely
we were
walk.
wet,
Yeah.
exhausted. I remember I had chafe.
Oh, my God. I just thought of that same exact thing.
I had chafe, which
Yeah.
I never planned on. So, dude, I
Yeah.
was like walking bow-legged to
Yeah.
try to like keep the chafe. And dude, my legs were like on fire.
Yeah.
Like every step hurt. And
Dude.
so by the end, I'm like,
Yeah, at that
you know.
weight, my thighs definitely rubbed together, and I had like cuts
Yeah.
on the inside of my thighs.
dude, it was
Yeah.
bad. And
Yeah.
my feet were killing me.
Yep.
And I had blisters from
Dude.
the water, from being
Yeah.
submerged for so long.
Right. It's not like we had specialized water shoes.
No, dude, I had sneakers, old
Yeah.
sneakers.
Right. That's
did
what I
this
wore
in.
too, because they had like holes in them,
And I knew
so the
that
water would drain
this
out.
was the last ride for these sneakers.
Right,
that
right.
This is it.
Yeah.
They're going to get thrown out after this.
Right.
And I remember we finally made it back to your car, and it was probably 6:30 or 7
Dude,
p.m.
so before that, as we near the end of the trail, whenever I do a difficult, like when I did the top of Dead Woman Pass, I'm like, okay, I'm going to finish
Yeah.
strong. And so I'm hiking at like, 0.3 miles an hour as we
Yeah.
get to the end. And I'm like, okay, there's the parking lot. I'm going to finish strong and I'm going to like jog back. I go from like 0.3 miles an hour to like 0.35 miles an hour. That's all I had in me.
And I remember thinking how goddamn exhausted I was.
Yeah.
And, we'd been up since real early. We had hiked this whole fucking thing, and half of which you did on,
Injured,
on
yeah.
an injured ankle,
Yeah.
and we did carrying all your shit.
Right.
And I think I did the last half of it with no walking stick because you had my walking
Yeah,
stick.
that sounds right.
And so-
right, because like we probably all had one.
Yeah, we
And
all
so-
just had one.
Right.
And I had to give you mine so that you could like fucking
Right.
trek out of there. And so I did the second half of this thing with no walking stick at all.
Yeah.
Or maybe I think me and Trevor
raw
may have-
dogged it.
Me and Trevor would have like
Shared
switched
or
off
whatever,
half,
yeah.
a little bit here and a little bit there.
Right.
But walking without that walking stick, dude, made it so much harder.
It does.
Yeah.
Another pro tip for you guys, if you're going to do something like this, the outfitters say just take the one pole, and they'll
No,
give you like a
dude.
good sized pole. No, two.
Yeah,
You-
take two, dude.
I find that two, I've done it many times.
Yeah,
and two
even if
helps.
you're not using two, dude, just
Right.
have that shit.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
in case. All right. So we got a sponsor for this episode.
We do.
This was a
We
great
do.
episode.
Yeah, let's
This
get
was
out
fun.
of here. All right. So our sponsor to close out the episode is Rock Hard Caulk. I haven't heard from them in a while.
Dude.
Yeah.
And their president, Eric Vinny Dixon.
Very nice.
President
yeah,
of Rock Hard
dude.
Caulk, a huge supporter of us.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Thank you, sir, for that. Tired of flimsy, weak caulk that just can't get the job done? You need a caulk that stands up to the toughest challenges, something you can really rely on. You need Rock Hard Caulk. Fellas, this ain't your grandpa's caulk. Rock Hard Caulk is heavy duty, all purpose, and built to last. From sealing up those drafty windows to tackling that leaky sink, Rock Hard Caulk gets in there and stays put.
It's not your weird uncle's caulk.
That's right. We know you've got household projects, big and small, and when you need to fill a gap, you need the best. You want a caulk that's easy to get hold of, feels good in your hand, and delivers powerful, lasting performance. With Rock Hard Caulk, you'll be amazed at how quickly you can get your caulk in all the right places.
All right, man. That was a great episode. I want to thank Rock Hard Caulk. I want to thank you, Alan Gigax.
Hey, that's me.
For Anthony Scafacci.
Yeah, I'm Alan Gigax.
This has been a Balls Deep production of the Scafacciverse podcast. We are out.